Good morning. Good morning, kings and queens of the land. Good morning, the royals. Good morning to all the liberated zones in Africa. Good morning to Burkina Faso, led by President Ibrahim Traore. Good morning to Mali, led by President Assimi Goita. Good morning to Niger, led by President Abdurrahman Tian, the Confederation of the Sahel State. Salute to those lions who've taken the motherland using the barrel of the gun. Good morning to KZN. Good morning, the MK Party, the only liberated zone in the British colony, South Africa. Today is the 30th of March 2025. South Africa still under the British colony. The only liberated zone which is led by President Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma is KZN. Good morning to ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. This is the Royal Opinion. Today we are talking about the reason why the Democratic Alliance is actually bound to vote with the ANC to approve the budget, uh, that will increase the colonial tax. The colonial tax, if you don't know what is a colonial tax, I'm referring to the VAT. The VAT is a colonial tax which was started in the since in early 1700. It was started. It only changed names. It has used different names throughout the season. It was started. The colonial tax was started in order to force black people or black South African to go and work for the white men, because the black people were not buying the issue of the white economy. They refused to be the slaves. That's why the white British went to India to get slaves to work for them in South Africa. They also went to other Asian countries to go and get slaves to work in South Africa while they were still dealing with black people. So, how they dealt with black people, they introduced the colonial tax. That colonial tax, you had to pay the queen for existing in a land which the queen has colonized. So, it was called the head tax. So if you've got a head uh, in your body, then you are supposed to pay that colonial tax in order for you to survive in the land of the queen. So black people, because they did not have the cash, because that tax was wanted in cash, or you would have to pay many cows to white people. So black people, their cows were getting finished from paying tax. They had to organize to start working for the white man, because the white man was the one who had the money to pay them, so that they can actually pay the British uh, the tax they wanted. So that's how the VAT was started. It has never stopped since it was started in South Africa. It has continued up until to date. Today it's called the VAT. It's no more called the head tax. Today is called VAT. I was just giving a little bit of background of about what we talking about. So the Democratic Alliance is going to vote for the colonial tax to be raised. It's going to vote for the colonial tax to be raised. It's going to vote with the ANC. That is the subject that is actually in discussion today. Let me try and unpack it because I don't want any confusion to all the people who follow the royal opinion. The royal opinion, the people who follow the royal opinion should understand things in a clear way. The Democratic Alliance, uh, the Democratic Alliance or the white people in South Africa, uh, the compromise of the ANC to have been changed, to have been taken over by white people, it's a huge compromise. The Democratic Alliance will never move away from the GNU. It's impossible for the Democratic Alliance to move away from the GNU. They apply different strategies to this issue, to politicking. Maybe first, let me explain one of the strategies that the Democratic Alliance is playing in this political scenario. The Democratic Alliance still wants to be the main opposition of the country. They still want to act like the main opposition, to pretend like the main opposition, to confuse people, uh, people to think that the Democratic Alliance is not the one governing. It's actually opposing the bad things that are happening in government. Why do they want to maintain that status? They want to maintain this status because if they don't maintain this status, the EFF is actually um out. Uh, the it cannot oppose. It cannot be the main opposition. The main opposition is the MK party, growing in a massive way, in an amazing and massive way. Uh, so the Democratic Alliance is well aware of the tsunami which is coming. The MK party will take over power. So they want to act to confuse black people in South Africa, to ensure that they still appear like they are the main opposition in order to neutralize the MK party. They want to neutralize the position of the MK party as the main opposition in South Africa, and uh, still be viewed as an opposition while they're actually the one in power. Thank you very much for joining Tembeka Gabai, 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 Gabai. Yes, Tembeka Gabai. Thank you very much for joining there, and thank you for sending the message. Good morning, my beloved family. I'm so happy to be early for the class. Thank you very much. Very many people. Maybe I should make the announcement a day before, because many people get the message late most of the time when the class is almost ending. So I appreciate very much your presence, the issue that we are discussing today. So the Democratic Alliance wants to maintain the image as the main opposition in South Africa. It's very important for them to do that, because if they don't do that, they will disappear inside the ANC. They are going to almost disappear inside the ANC. So they have to, mm, and they also have to neutralize the MK party so that people still view the MK party as maybe um, the same level as the EFF, while actually in reality the MK party is the main opposition, and the Democratic Alliance is the governing party. So the strategy that they are using, that is to help them to maintain their status in the view of the community, or in the view of the people. They have to maintain that status, so that people will still trust them, will still want to vote for them. The second strategy that the Democratic Alliance is playing in this regard, and it's very well calculated. Let me say, how do they calculate? The reason why they actually went on to oppose the VAT increase, it's not because the Democratic Alliance are siding with black people, or are siding with people for no vote, no VAT increase. First, the Democratic Alliance represent their colonial master. VAT is a colonial tax. So the Democratic Alliance will not be the one which will stop the colonial tax from happening to black people. It's impossible for the Democratic Alliance to stop the VAT from getting increased or implemented in South Africa. They want to negotiate about other things that they want from the ANC, like that expropriation bill, of which that expropriation bill, they just want to be relevant to their people, but that expropriation bill covers them, has got nothing to uh, expropriate land, in terms of that expropriation bill that Ramaphosa signed has got nothing to assist black people to take over their land. So they just want to be relevant in on their people when they oppose. So it's well timed when they realize that the MK and the EFF will not allow this VAT increase. And if that happens, when the MK and the EFF does not allow the VAT increase, but the Democratic Alliance is approving of the VAT increase and the ANC, then the Democratic Alliance and the ANC becomes the enemy of the people. Now, if they play like the Democratic Alliance does not want the VAT increase, it would be the ANC who will remain the enemy of the people. But the Democratic Alliance is going to be viewed as heroes who reject the VAT increase in South Africa. So that's the status they want to, that is the posture they want to take in terms of they've actually taken in terms of this. So the VAT increase uh, is for, when I talk about this colonial tax, it's strictly to benefit. When they started it in order to get money to run the colonial administration. Running the colonial administration, the British did not have money to run the colonial administration. They had to take from black people. So the Democratic Alliance represent the white people who started the colonial tax. So they cannot protect people from paying the colonial tax. The only reason they were opposing is to remain relevant. If the MK party was saying yes to the VAT increase, the Democratic Alliance would not oppose the VAT increase in Parliament, even though they want to negotiate some of the things. If the EFF was saying yes to the VAT increase, so they were not going to uh, act like they are refusing, even though they want to negotiate the Bella bill and the expropriation bill using this budget. They want to use this budget to negotiate the Bella bill, that Ramaphosa should reverse the signing of the Bella bill, or the expropriation Land Expropriation Act. That's what they want to, so that they can take victories at least to their white constituency. That's what they wanted to play. That's what they want to play with the ANC. But if the ANC uh, could get support from the EFF and the MK party, they wouldn't act like that. So they are acting like this because the ANC is now stuck. They have to vote with the ANC. So, but what I'm saying is the Democratic Alliance will vote with the ANC for the VAT increase, even when their demands are not met. If the ANC can meet their demand if they want, but even though their demands will not be met, the Democratic Alliance will still vote for the VAT increase, because the VAT increase helps them collect more from black people and give to white companies. The VAT increase help them to take money to the IMF, directly to the international mafia organization, which is collecting in South Africa, which is collecting across the world, called the IMF. The IMF, they call it International Monetary Fund, but I call it International uh, Mafia Forum. International Mafia Forum. So that the International Mafia Forum, which is the IMF, uh, is the one which is a direct beneficiary from collections in South Africa, VAT collections in South Africa. They go directly to the International Mafia Forum. That is the second thing about the reason why the Democratic Alliance will vote for this. First, they will vote for it because it is their mandate from the international mafia to vote for the increase. Secondly, they are not gonna be the one who is going to try and block the international mafia, because that's the person they represent as well. So they are not going to be the one who are going to stop that from happening. They are going to vote for second. Thirdly, they will be voting for the budget because they are part of the government. They want to spend the money. They want to take as much as they can before the MK party comes and take over the country. The Democratic Alliance and President Ramaphosa are well aware that they've actually robbed elections, and the MK party has got overwhelming evidence about the robbing of the elections. The case is supposed to go to court, and the government may collapse very soon when the case start to go to court. So the Democratic Alliance, they have agreed with the ANC to balloon the structure of government in order for them to benefit as much as they can in this period, to benefit as much as they can in this period. So the Democratic Alliance is going to vote to allow the VAT increase, the comma five, the 1% VAT increase that the ANC wanted. It's actually the 2% VAT increase, because they will increase it year on year, just like that. That is the plan, is to increase it year on year without caring about the impact of that VAT increase on uh, poor people, on black people, because all black people are almost in the same level. Black people are the ones who will suffer from this VAT increase. So the Democratic Alliance has to vote with the ANC to avoid the collapse of the GNU. If the GNU collapse, then it's over with the Democratic Alliance. The MK is going to take over the country. When the MK takes over the country, the MK will expropriate land without compensation. These people are afraid of the MK party. Now they are fighting for what they are fighting for is just to keep MK out, to stop the MK party in all dimensions. That's what they are trying to do. They have tried to infiltrate the MK party. They are still trying to infiltrate. They are sponsoring people. There has been a campaign against Floyd Shivambu by this intelligence organization. Uh, uh, there has been sponsored campaign to remove Floyd Shivambu from the MK. But President Zuma, being sober, is not going to, and knowing what is happening, is not going to act. Yesterday, I actually spoke about Duduzile Zuma, uh, who's been influenced by other elements, negative elements, that wants to uh, divide the MK party. But I think all of those people will not be able to succeed against the likes of President Zuma and Floyd Shibam. That's a very deadly combination. Like undermining the MK leadership, it's actually at your own risk, because those are very powerful people. Uh, John Thorpe, the deputy president, the president of the MK party, President Jacob Zuma, the secretary general, only those three can run this country in an amazing way. Only those three can organize the MK party and make it as massive as, I'm just talking about the three only. I'm not talking even about the member of parliament. How massive is the uh, knowledge, intelligence in the MK party? The comrades in the ANC are, of course, educated in their colonial education. The colonial education have uh, taught them to only protect their master, to give praise to the white man and protect the white man. But uh, in terms of intellectual capacity to stand and help your people, they don't have the ability. You know, the sellout community are cowards. The reason they sell out is because they feel they can't defeat the white system. They are afraid to talk because they feel they can't defeat the white system. That's why we don't even have to hate the sellout. We have to call them out but we don't have to hate them. We need to love them because these are our people who find themselves struggling, but in a way, in one way or another, had to try and survive by selling their other people because they feel they can't defeat the white system or the white people. So the Democratic Alliance and the ANC are in a marriage of convenience. The only thing which will do them part is the MK party. The MK party is going to demolish the GNU. The coming elections, the coming local government elections are going to be massive. On the second of April, it's not only the budget vote which will be happening in Parliament. Let us remember the MK party has taken a word in the Western Cape. Helen Zille was trying to push the narrative that the MK party is only a regional party, is voted for by the Zulu people or the Zulus. But when in her area where she's the strongest, where the white people are the strongest, where there are no Zulus, if any, very few, very little. The MK party has won a ward in Saldanha Bay municipality, beating the Democratic Alliance, the ANC, and their boy, the PA, Patriotic Alliance. Maybe I should also talk someday about the Patriotic Alliance or the Gayton Mackenzie. Gayton Mackenzie is the Democratic Alliance. It's actually the same party as the Democratic Alliance, same policies, that they are using. The Democratic Alliance and the PA are using the same policies. And the reason for that is because the Patriotic Alliance and the Democratic Alliance is the same party. The reason they wanted to create the Patriotic Alliance, the realization that the Democratic Alliance is not going to be able to expand to black areas or the colored vote. It's not going to maintain to be. Is not going to be able to maintain its increase in voter attraction uh, in black areas. So they started the Patriotic Alliance in order to, they want the Patriotic Alliance to overtake the Democratic Alliance or to be in alliance with the DA or to be equal in terms of numbers with the Democratic Alliance. But the combination of all with their strategies were beaten by the MK party, which is President Zuma strategies in their dominant areas. On the 2nd of April, by-elections will be running as well in KZN, Kwaduza municipality. Two by-elections will be running there. The MK party is expected to sweep everything there to take both of the wards. The MK party has not won a ward in Joburg yet. The MK party has not won a ward in Pumalanga yet. I think it's only one ward in KZN, if I'm not mistaken, at the current moment. So they've got a ward in the Western Cape, a ward in KZN, a ward in Northwest, and now it will be two more wards before even the actual elections happen by the by elections. So the Democratic Alliance does not have a space to breathe or a space to do anything other than support the ANC to keep their marriage. Because if they don't do that, the ground has moved away from the ANC and the ground has moved away. The ideas, the sellout ideas that people used to uh, come out and talk lies about what they are actually doing can no longer be sustained in this era. Solomon Divane says MK is the force to be reckoned with, 8N for SA politics. MK party was robbed votes last year. Ramaphosa ANC is fake, doing bidding for Cyril business. Cyril Ramaphosa, I always say this, is fake. President Cyril Ramaphosa is fake. He is an advocate or a lawyer, not an advocate. He's a lawyer who has never practiced as a lawyer. He is said to be a unionist who has never worked in any mine, a mine unionist who has never worked in any mine, a shop steward who was never employed, a revolutionary or a freedom fighter who never fought anything, a businessman who never built any business. So everything about Cyril Ramaphosa is actually fake. It's worse, it's fake. Most let me say everything about President Ramaphosa is actually fake. It's for image enhancement by the enemies of black people. Thank you very much, Solomon Dubane, for your message there. Thank you very much for your comment. Please tell us your opinion. Give us your opinion about the topic that we are talking about. What do you think is going to happen on the 2nd of April? It will be on Wednesday. Do you think the Democratic Alliance is not going to vote for the colonial tax, or do you think the Democratic Alliance is going to vote for the colonial tax, for the approval of the colonial tax to go up with the ANC? The ANC is cool. The ANC, you see that they don't have any uh, problem. They don't seem to be panicking, and the reason they are not panicking is because they know they have spoken with the Democratic Alliance that was just a strategy. So they know the Democratic Alliance is going to come to their rescue. They are going to vote for their budget. They know the Democratic Alliance is still committed in the GNU, and actually, the Democratic Alliance will never decommit themselves from the GNU, because now the white men need the spy more than the need the white men. Though it always have been the case. But now it's worse because they have to try and keep the MK party out. If they have to keep the MK party out, then they must force themselves in. The Democratic Alliance must be Forced in. That's why they actually robbed the elections, because they had to be forced in. What happened in South Africa is not democratic voting. What happened is a coup d'etat. When another political party has won the election, the other political party came and removed them using corrupt methods. This should not be allowed. It should not be allowed. President Zuma have said it very clear that this should not be allowed. And it's true. It should not be allowed in the so-called democracy that people just come and rob votes and get away with that thing. They got away with it. Many people now are settled in this GNU. Many cowards are very settled in this GNU. But the ground, the people on the ground, the people who are suffering, because the problem is the people who are suffering. Um, these people, they've divided us into classes. There are the group of the people whom they are collecting the VAT aggressively against, meaning the most poor people, and that is the majority of the people. So there is a middle class. The middle class is a gang of people who are created by white people in order for uh, that part of those that part of black community to defend the white people. The middle class are those who defend white ideas. The Prince Marshall kind of people. Those are the middle class who are there to defend the interest of whiteness, while they're actually black. So white people thought if they take care of those people who, the politicians who sell their people out, if they take care of those, then they will rule Africa forever, because the other people will not be able to do anything. Obviously, in many countries in Africa, when you try to rise, they come and crush you. When you try to talk, they come and arrest you, take you to jail. That's what is coming. President Ruto and Emmanuel Macron will, in actual fact, maybe I will talk about this in in some videos, because the implementation of the climate change uh, the implementation of the climate change mafia ideas are actually is actually getting live. France is meeting with its colonies in Kenya to instruct them to implement the climate change uh, craziness. When I say the climate change craziness, it means you will be taxed for, even for cooking. You will be taxed for cooking. You will have credits that you are only allowed to cook this type of food, or this type of meat only. If you are um, people who've got chickens will be taxed for keeping the chickens at home, because those are the things that they say it's increasing climate change problems. If you've got goats, if you've got cows, you are going to be taxed for all of those, because those are the ones that they say it's guilty for the climate change issues. So what they want to introduce, maybe I will talk about that. I'm not there now. I'll talk about that on another video. I was talking about the colonial tax. Ladies and gentlemen, please click the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for joining the live stream. Give us your opinion. Tell us where we can actually improve. Give us your opinion about the subject that we are talking about, and give us your opinion about what they happening in South Africa. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of this live stream. The Democratic Alliance is going to vote with the ANC at all cost. There's no other thing that they're going to do other than voting with the ANC. Thank you very much for joining. Please enjoy your Sunday, ladies and gentlemen.